Okay, Wendy, the recording is in process as the college football season picks up some steam. Wendy, today is Thursday, 9/11, September 11th. I think we all know what happened roughly 20, 25 years ago. Terrible day. I still
Yep.
remember where I was. A lot of remembrances going on for September 11th and a terrible day. But we're getting into football, Wendy.
Yep. Sure are. Hey, terrible day yesterday too. Just been a rough few days, man. But yeah, football. College football will bring us all together one way or another, and love or in hate, one or the other.
That's right. That's right. All right. If you haven't listened to this, I'm Trey Davis. This is my sister Wendy. The show's called Fourth and Wendy. We're going to talk about some college football, Wendy. And last weekend, let's wrap it up. We got a special guest that's going to be on in a little while. I think it's going to be Nacho
Oh
is
yes, Chris
going
Arnold.
to join us. Now he has done this before, and he's had meetings come up. So that's
Okay,
the
it
plan.
happens.
Yeah, that's the plan as of this moment, Wendy. Let's get into it. Last weekend, Wendy, it didn't look good on paper. I mean, it just not a lot of good paper games, but it ended up being a really exciting day of football. I'm just going to go over a couple of these scores real quick. The some that were kind of fun to me. Mississippi State gets a big win over Arizona State.
Yep.
Great late game. Mississippi State hits a pass down there late to score a touchdown. Really an epic win for Mississippi State. That
Yep.
was a lot of fun to watch. The other was Baylor SMU. So we
Yeah.
all know Auburn went and beat Baylor. Baylor beat SMU in a really crazy game, went into overtime. Baylor makes the field goal. SMU guys misses it.
Yep.
You had Oklahoma and Michigan. Oklahoma and Michigan, one of those games on TV that looked brilliant on TV, Wendy. Oklahoma, hard hitting football game.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we get on this thing. These guys are blasting each other. Oklahoma beats Michigan 24-13.
Crazy game.
And probably the one, let's talk about Ole Miss, Kentucky. Ole Miss ends up beating Kentucky. And it was one of the only SEC matchups on. And it was, Wendy, I had a hard time watching it.
Yeah. It was close though. It was a close game. I mean, it wasn't a blowout. I actually expected a blowout by Ole Miss, but it wasn't a blowout. Early season. I mean, SEC matchup, but I mean, honestly, the Oklahoma Michigan game was better. Best game of the day, in my opinion, though, was that Mississippi State game. I mean, Mississippi State. Let me say this: they deserved it. I don't know how many years it's been since they've won an opening game. I think Arizona State was ranked. I want to say
Yeah.
13, maybe 18, somewhere in there. That's a big win. Fans went wild. Place went crazy. It was a really fun game. That was a really fun game to watch. Really fun
Yeah.
game to
Yeah,
watch.
they took the goalpost out of there, and it was almost like as soon as the game was over, it was like the goalpost was already deconstructed, and
Right.
they were just like, "Here, take this out of the stadium." I mean, they're just
Yeah.
walking the goalposts out of the stadium. So Mississippi State fans are really happy. Big win for the SEC there,
Yeah.
Wendy. Let's go to the South Florida game. Wendy, Florida gets beat by South Florida 18-16 in a game. I think everybody thought Florida was going to win the game. I mean, why would Florida not win the game? We know South Florida beat Boise State. South Florida's a good football team.
You said it last
Every
week.
Yeah, I mean everybody's on the coach from Florida's case because they lost to South Florida. This is a good football team.
Yeah.
I thought the play calling for Florida was absolutely atrocious. I mean, they're throwing the ball when they should be running the ball. They're running the ball when they should be more aggressive. It just if Billy Napier, is that his name at Florida?
Yeah. Billy Napier.
If he has a break, open the offense up, man.
Yeah.
Open it up. Win, lose, or draw. Open the daggum thing up. Stop looking at these metrics and all these things that are going on,
Analytics.
man. Yeah, open it up and either hell, you're losing games anyway.
Right.
Get the ball in the air and start being more aggressive, man. He's just
Well,
sitting there like playing the clock the whole game.
yeah, but let me tell you this. Florida's had a discipline problem for quite near a decade. Let's talk about the shoe throw, and I could go on and on. You're going to spit on a dude after the whole thing happened in the NFL a few days prior, right? You're going to go spit on a guy. They get a first down. Florida beats themselves. I'm not so sure people beat Florida. Florida beats themselves. And if this discipline issue's been here, it's not like a new thing for Florida. It's not just this one guy. This has cost them some big games in the last 5 to 10 years, and it cost them a game last Saturday. And Trey, you said it last week. South Florida's got a quarterback. They absolutely do. But when you get a penalty at the end of the game and put them in field goal range, what do you expect to happen? Get a hold of your team. Get a hold of your team. Like, you know what I mean? I don't feel sorry for Florida at this point. It's a discipline issue. They prove it every week, almost every week. They prove it.
Yeah, and we'll move on from that. The Auburn football Tigers at Jordan-Hare Stadium with a new scoreboard. Ball State, I don't have the final score right here, but really just kind of ran over Ball State. Auburn looked good. Auburn's defense looked good. The opponent, you don't think the opponent's that good. But Auburn's got another little warm-up game with South Alabama this week, and then Auburn will really get into the meat of their schedule next week. So we're going to be talking a lot about Auburn here coming up.
Yep.
But Auburn looks to tune up this week. Wendy.
But now listen, hold on. This Auburn win against Baylor's looking a little bit better with Baylor beating SMU. I mean, I'm just saying, their Friday night win is looking a little bit better. I mean, Auburn might give some people some run for their money this year. Like I said, I'm on an apology tour, Trey. An apology tour. So there's one.
Auburn's got Oklahoma next week, and Auburn is going to be tested, and we're going to get to that point. Wendy, it was a bounce-back week from one of the rougher weeks as an Alabama fan, probably an Alabama player, probably an Alabama coach, anybody involved with the Alabama program. I mean, everybody was down on the Crimson Tide.
Yep.
And Alabama comes out, and what are they going to do against La Monroe, Wendy? They beat them 73-0. I believe they scored on 11 drives. They scored a touchdown on 11 drives and one field goal. I think they scored on every single possession.
Yep.
A lot of enthusiasm, Wendy. A lot of players got to play. What was your takeaway from the Tide?
Well, I mean, I've got a few things. I'm going to start with our defense. I thought our defense looked a lot better. I understand, though. I want to make this very clear. I know that we were playing, Louisiana Monroe. I'm not dumb. But for a cupcake game, they did not score one time. Not even sure they got past the 50. Maybe one time I think we got a penalty or something, but don't even think they ever played on that side of the field. So really impressed with our defense. I saw our defense tackling, bringing guys to the ground. Finishing plays, right? I wanted to see them finish. The other big thing for me is we have multiple receivers. I'm not saying anything about Ryan Williams. I still think he's an amazing receiver, a prolific guy. I totally get it. But we have more than one receiver. So I want to take everybody back to the Tua Tagovailoa days and the Jalen Hurts when we had Henry Ruggs, Devontae Smith, Waddle, Ridley was out there. Like, we had multiples, right? We had all these guys. Our quarterback went to whoever was open. That's who he went to. Okay? You had all these guys catching plays. I've played on a team. We've had teams that have really good receivers and not just one. So what I wanted to see was, let's use all of these guys and see what all these guys have. I think inevitably what's happened with some of our quarterback play, they're constantly looking for Ryan Williams. Well, Bernard's open, Cook, all these other guys are there, right? So what I really liked is that the ball seemed to get spread around a lot on Saturday, right? I feel like it was Bernard, it was the other receivers. I was glad to see the other talent that we have. Bernard, once again, huge bright spot on him, played phenomenal, lights out, just like he always has and always does. But at the end of the day, the most interesting thing and what I really like the most is Ty Simpson had a great game. Totally had a great game. I did not expect to see the backup in until much later in the game. The fact that Kalen DeBoer said, here's our backup, and Trey, this kid looks good. I mean,
I think it's Austin Mack.
Austin Mack. I love his release. He's got a quick release, a lot like Tua. Looked really good. Big guy. Made really good decisions with the ball, in my opinion. Scored some touchdowns. What I liked that he did, though, is he put him in early, because as a fan, I want to know what your plan is if Ty Simpson gets in his head again. if things aren't going his way and he starts getting a little discombobulated, are you going to be willing to put the backup in? Well, I think he showed us on Saturday, I won't put the backup in. Now, I don't know if that's to build some of that, not pressure, Trey, I don't know what word I'm looking for, to make Ty Simpson realize, hey, like this, there's other guys that can do this. You know what I mean? I'm with you. Probably Ty Simpson's the best that we have, but I'm really glad to see what we've got behind him, and in hopes that if Ty Simpson's not cutting it, DeBoer is willing to put him in. That's my big thing. I'm just telling you, that was like my other big thing. So there was that. Trey, all in all, I thought we looked amazing, but it's still Louisiana Monroe. And I think the biggest thing is they didn't score on us. Like Tennessee scored 77 points, but ETSU scored 17. So some of these cupcake games, yeah, but they've still got guys scoring. We didn't have a point scored on us. I think it's a big deal.
The question is, and I think Barry put it in the text message, and it's all a little tongue-in-cheek right now, but is Bama back?
Oh, I don't know. That's hard, Trey. So,
Wendy, is Bama back?
I'm going to say Bama's back because we beat somebody 72-0. But I think that's just the fan in me. I'm obviously weird on here for fun. I certainly don't know what I'm doing 99% of the time. I think we'll see a little bit more with Wisconsin, but Trey, the biggest one's going to be Georgia. Like, I don't know what we've got till we go against Georgia, but I will say this. I really believe that we can beat Wisconsin. After what I saw, if we played that completely, I believe that we will be able to beat Wisconsin at home.
We're gonna get back into that. I did put that out on our text thread. Is Alabama back? Is Bama back? Or are we in wait and see mode? We have Nacho, who will be coming on here in a second. Wait and see. Rockhill wants to see what we do against Wisconsin. Arnold also says we're trending in the right way. J.A., he's one step at a time kind of guy.
Yeah.
But I know he's probably thinking a little bit more positive. Rockhill liked everybody got so many good reps.
Yep.
Max impressive. And then J.A., is literally watching the Wisconsin MTSU game, getting ready for the Wisconsin game.
I like J.A.
So, yeah. I was looking for a report. All he said is they don't look great right now. They're down 3-0 at the end of the first quarter. So,
right.
We've got some people looking at Wisconsin, and we're going to talk about Wisconsin coming up when we get Nacho on there. Okay. Nacho just said he got pulled into a meeting.
Oh.
Go figure.
Oh.
Go figure. Go figure.
We tried, Nacho.
Nacho's out. All right, Wendy, let's move on to this week. Wendy, this is a better week of college football. I've got.
Well, Trey, you didn't bring up your favorite team, your Vols. You didn't bring up Tennessee.
Because I'm going to talk about Tennessee, the game they're actually going to play somebody this week, the Georgia Bulldogs.
Okay.
What did Tennessee do? Let's look. What did Tennessee do? I mean, they beat somebody 77-0.
No, 77-17. And their quarterback, I'm going to say this, their quarterback's looking good. The best thing that could have happened to them is probably Nico leaving. I mean, let's be honest. Nico's numbers are dismal over at UCLA.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about we're going to talk about the Tennessee game coming up, Wendy. So we're getting into this weekend, Wendy. It's hot. Mm-hmm. It's the heat's come back in. I'm just going to bounce through a couple of these. You got Clemson and Georgia Tech at 11 o'clock. Be a pretty good little game there.
Yeah.
You have Auburn football Tigers, as we mentioned a minute ago, are going to play South Alabama at 11:45.
It must be. Is that the? Are they on TV?
Network. Yeah.
SEC Network.
That's a weird time. We have Arkansas, Ole Miss. Okay,
good game.
Arkansas goes to Ole Miss. We have Texas A&M, Notre Dame. Texas A&M has to go to Notre Dame.
That's a big game. What time's that game?
6:30 on Fox.
Okay, that's a big game.
So Texas A&M, even though I won't be able to watch them. Like I'll turn it on for 5 minutes and I'll be like, I don't get it, and turn it back off. But it should be a good game. Wendy, the Vanderbilt Commodores will play your South Carolina Gamecocks, Wendy, at 6:45. Does Vandy have something for the Gamecocks in Columbia?
No, nobody's got anything. Yeah, nobody's got anything for South Carolina in Columbia. It's not going to happen. I'm going to say this. I think Vanderbilt's, with keeping their 48-year-old quarterback and, how many other 48-year-olds they've got on the team. I think they've got a decent team. But I'm going to tell y'all, South Carolina's going to be hard to beat, and they're going to be harder to beat at home. Vanderbilt will get their first SEC loss on Saturday. No ifs and buts about it.
Yeah, Vanderbilt was in there with Virginia Tech last week and really outscored them like 20 points in the second half to pull away, Wendy. This Vanderbilt team, man, you better knock them out early.
That's what I'm saying.
It's going to be a football game, Wendy. We'll move on. We'll kind of build up to the Alabama game. We have the LSU-Florida game. Florida will travel to LSU at 6:30 on ABC. The game probably lost a little bit of its luster with Florida getting beat last week.
Yep.
I don't think it means Florida is any better or any worse than they were last week. I think prospectively they think Florida's a little bit worse. But does Florida have anything for LSU or not?
Yes, I think Florida will win the game by 2 touchdowns. Trey, you ask these questions and then you act absolutely stupefied that I have an opinion. Let me tell you something. Florida is going to beat LSU. If Florida doesn't beat themselves with penalties, Florida's going to beat LSU. Clemson. Listen, I wanted Clemson to win too. Clemson's not that good. I'm just trying to tell you, Florida is going to beat LSU next week. Brian Kelly couldn't win 2 games in a row. This week. Brian Kelly couldn't win 2 games in a row if he had to. It's Brian Kelly. You can call the betting people, call your bookies, do whatever you need to do. I'm telling you, Florida beats LSU by 2 touchdowns. That's what's going to happen. What do you think's going to happen?
Well, I mean, Florida scored 18 points against South Florida last weekend.
South Florida, according to you, the week before on last week's podcast, was a good team and was the sleeper game, and you were right.
So, but I think South Florida has a good quarterback. I didn't say South Florida had an indomitable defense. Listen, I like the opinion. Florida and LSU. Look, LSU will be primed. I mean, LSU got the monkey off their back. Winning that first game of the year. Billy Napier has had his back up against the wall. It feels like every time the guy's on the field, it's like all eyes are on Billy Napier. Great game. Look forward to seeing who's going to pull that out. I don't know. I just think LSU right now, if LSU decides to open it up, Florida will have some problems scoring points. And it's going to be really tough for them to go in there. And just by the way, South Florida plays Miami at 3:30 as well. So let's go down. Let's just do this, Wendy. We haven't talked about one team this year a lot because they haven't played anybody.
Right.
And it's the Georgia Bulldogs from Athens, Georgia will be, I don't know if they ride a plane up there or they ride a bus, but they will be going to Tennessee this weekend at 2:30 Central Time on ABC.
Big game.
Rocky Top will be on tilt.
Yes.
Georgia limping in with the Gunnar Stockton at the quarterback. Georgia just hadn't played anybody, and you don't get any airtime if you don't play people. All these other teams have played a team or two.
Right.
And that's why you haven't talked about Georgia. But Wendy, Georgia seemed to have some offensive struggles last week. Tennessee, like you just said, is scoring 700 points a game.
Yeah.
Like I've said a million times, Josh Heupel can get a quarterback that if he can throw the deep ball, the guy's going to be there. Like, he can get the guy open. The guy's going to be there. And this guy seems to be able to get the guy the ball, Wendy. This Tennessee team has had a lot of problems with Georgia.
Yeah.
I mean, Tennessee's gotten over the hump with beating Alabama a couple times in the past couple of years. Georgia is the final hurdle for Tennessee, Wendy. Neyland Stadium will be rocking. Talk to me.
Okay, so I've got a lot of thoughts about this game. I was talking to Christy the other day, and I just said, look, here's the bottom line. Georgia is going to come in with the defense. You're right. We haven't seen a lot of them, but it's Kirby Smart, defensive mastermind. I believe that Georgia's going to have the defense. Okay, can the offensive line match up to the defense? Can they give their quarterback enough time to make the throws? If they can, Tennessee wins this ball game. Offensive side of the ball, I don't think Georgia is the same Georgia as they have been the last couple, 5-6 years. Does that make sense? So I really think it's, can the defense, if the defense is going to beat the offensive line and the offensive line can't give them time to throw the ball, it's going to be a really close game. Might come down to whoever has possession last. I mean, let me say this. I agree with you with this quarterback. Agriel, I don't really know how to say it, but he really seems to make good decisions as well. So I think one thing that Josh Heupel has done is he gets a quarterback in there that can throw the ball but also makes really good decisions. Some of the past quarterbacks are really good, threw some interceptions. I think this guy really is more of a full package than what they've had. So I believe if offensive line can give them enough time to make the plays, Tennessee might win this year.
Wendy,
What?
Wendy. What is your fixation with Tennessee's offensive line? Where did this come from? Did you read like an article this summer about some weird offensive line snap?
No.
You're on Tennessee's offensive line, Wendy.
Go back and listen. For 3 years, I've been on their offensive line for a full decade. Tennessee's big. Listen, you know what? I'm going to write a book about it because I know that I'm right. I live in the state. Trey, you don't remember when I would call you and be like, you're never going to believe there's like 6 more players hurt? Like it literally felt like every single player at the University of Tennessee got hurt. And I'm like, what are they doing? Who is their strength and conditioning guy? I am trying to tell you their offensive line has never been that good since Fulmer left. I'm just telling you. Think what you want. I don't care. We're going to see. You know what? I'm going to do a special broadcast. I don't know how to set this thing up, but I'm going to make you set it up, and I'm going to do a special broadcast, and I'm going to show every single time their offense can't get it done.
On Tennessee's offensive line. Well, Wendy, listen.
I'm on an apology tour. I just gave them accolades. If they can hold up against let me say this. We'll have a problem lining up against their defense. This isn't just a Tennessee problem. This isn't anybody problem playing Georgia. I can't imagine Georgia's defense actually not being elite, no matter what's going on the offensive side of the ball. Can you? Imagine?
No, and I think the thing with Georgia that you have to really pay attention to is you've got Kirby Smart. You've got a program that is built from the ground up. And these guys know what they're doing. I think the positive thing with Georgia at this point, they played 2 football games. They played good enough teams to, not really good, but they've played 2 teams where they have a semblance of who they are. Right. And you've heard me talk about it for a long time. These coaches are trying to figure out what kind of team they have. Most of these guys cannot figure it out until the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season, simply because you've got to get these guys in game situations to see who it clicks for and who it doesn't click for. I have no qualms with Kirby Smart in game 3 of the season, understanding what his quarterback can do, understanding what his team can do, and putting them in the best position to win. The thing that I think the easy pick is Tennessee. Tennessee's flying high. They're rocking and rolling. Georgia's sputtering along a little bit. Georgia has figured out this Tennessee offense in the past. Okay, This is not like our guy that can't figure out a running quarterback that'll play 12 of them and can't figure it out.
Right.
Georgia has figured this offense out in the past, so I'm not necessarily worried about that, Wendy. But Tennessee playing with a lot of confidence, got a quarterback that can hit the deep ball. And I think it's going to be a great football game.
I do too.
I really see this game being a great football game.
Who do you think wins it?
If I have to stay with Georgia. I mean, I just have to stay with Georgia. Until Tennessee can figure it out, I have to stay with Georgia. I think if any year Tennessee's going to beat them, it would be this year.
Yeah.
And Wendy, I'll be honest with you. If Tennessee's clicking like we think they are, Tennessee could put up a bunch of points and win this game going away. And you want to talk about a party in Knoxville. What's that song? Party like a rock star?
Yeah, party like a rock star. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm calling all you Tennessee fans, listen up. Because, again, I'm on a redemption tour. Tennessee by 14. I'm telling you, I think, Trey, you do this to me all the time. Listen, I really believe the only thing that back and forth I go with is the defense. But I'm going to try to tell you, I really think this quarterback might be the full package. I think Nico leaving was the best thing that could happen to Tennessee. I think they're going to get those 14 late. But I absolutely think that's what's going to happen. I think that Tennessee is going to beat Georgia this year. The only thing I'm a little concerned about, Kirby Smart sometimes, in my opinion, has been known to keep some things held back in some of his early cupcake games. He's got Tennessee coming up. He's got Alabama coming up. He kind of kept some things close to the vest to make sure those things don't get out before 2 really big SEC games that could have major implications on the back end of the year. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I wouldn't put it past Kirby to do that. You know what I
So
mean?
you've got Florida winning by 2 touchdowns. You've got Tennessee winning by 2 touchdowns. Wendy,
Late.
you're on a late touchdown. You
Yeah.
think Tennessee goes ahead by Tennessee's offensive line really wearing down Georgia's defensive line?
Y'all can make fun of me all you want to. I'm now, you know what I am going to do? Because you know I don't write anything down. I don't research anything. I don't even get names right half the time. Don't even say the right team. But I'm going to research how bad their offensive line has been over the last decade to prove my point when I get around to it. When I figure out the time, I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to write a book about it.
Lot of fun football, Wendy,
Yeah.
and we will end, unless we forgot something, we will end with the Alabama Crimson Tide, who was left dead on the side of the road last week. We're talking about buyouts. We're talking about shutting the program down.
People getting rid of season tickets. Yeah, it was
season tickets. I did hear it was really inexpensive to get in that game. But when Alabama plays Wisconsin, and so Wisconsin's coming to Tuscaloosa this year. Remember, Alabama went to Wisconsin last year.
Yep.
Alabama scored kind of a flurry of points right before the half and really put the game away.
Yeah.
Wisconsin's quarterback got hurt. Wisconsin's quarterback got hurt during the first quarter or two of that game, and really they just didn't have any. They couldn't match up with Alabama's athletes. This year, Wisconsin's coming in with another backup quarterback. Their starter, I think, got hurt either in the first game or right in the preseason, whichever one it was. Alabama's a 21-point favorite at Bryant-Denny. We all know Alabama doesn't have a problem at Bryant-Denny Stadium. What happens this Saturday, Wendy?
I mean, if defense wants to tackle people and everybody wants to play actual football, nobody gets hot. It's too hot, the sun, all that kind of stuff. We should be fine. After seeing a little bit of Wisconsin last week, I don't think Wisconsin can match up talent to talent with us. I think Ryan Williams is coming back, which is a great addition back to the team. I think I feel more comfortable as an Alabama fan considering I saw the backup quarterback early. So I don't have as much worry about if Ty Simpson really does get in his head and didn't perform in the way he's supposed to, can and will we put the backup in? I really feel good about going into this game. I think we saw some different weapons getting used. Cole Adams, that Deer kid, the one that ran for the last, I don't know if he's third string, fourth string, but put me in, coach. He's fast. I mean, he is fast. Just really excited to see who comes in and who plays. Does that make sense? What kind of headspace are we in? I want to see dogs. I want to see anger. I want to see, again, like you said, I want people to go back to being afraid of the University of Alabama. I don't know if it'll be done against the Wisconsin game, but it's a good start.
Yeah, and I think I heard somebody talking on the radio, and I really agree with them. This game really sets up similar to how last year's game set up, Wendy. I mean, Wisconsin doesn't have that different of a team. Alabama, we're a little bit different, but, I don't think we're a lot different than we were last year. So I look for Alabama to come out, Wendy, in a fairly easy win. And that's especially, you want to get off at a good start. If you can get Wisconsin down, I think you've got a chance here, Wendy. I look for Alabama to maybe score 30, maybe 30, 35 points this game, maybe give up a field goal, maybe give up a touchdown. And that's what I'm looking out of Alabama this week, Wendy. And I'm that's all I can say about that. It's at 11 o'clock, so we'll get that done early. Wendy, last week's episode, I want to thank everybody that's listening to the show. Please comment, let messages and things like that. Last week's episode of YouTube got pulled down.
Yeah, it did.
So I think it was because what I'm about to try to do is play these messages, okay? Literally, I leave work on Thursdays at 11:30, whatever it is. I come to the house, I cut on my computer, and I kind of get this thing going. Okay?
Right.
Well, the messages that I'm trying to play, I think were inside of my Gmail. And long story short, I think my Gmail actually popped up on that video.
It did.
And I think YouTube took it down because of that. That's the only reason I know. So the video's not there anymore. And I don't think I'm going to have time to go put it back up. But anyway, that's what happened. Let me try to do this again, Wendy. Let's play a couple of messages. see
Okay.
if this thing works. We are not.
Well, while you're doing that, though, the craziest thing about it is when you click the button, it would say takedown for bullying, and then they gave you an explanation, and it wasn't for bullying. We don't bully anybody, by the way. Like, I don't bully people. We talk football, but we certainly don't bully anybody.
Yeah. All right, let's see what we got here. Wendy, can you see my screen?
Yep.
All right.
Trey, Wendy, it's Nacho,
Nacho.
a.k.a. Chris Arnold. No relation to Jackson Arnold of the Auburn football Tigers. I don't know why I didn't call in earlier, but actually I do know, because I think everybody's been in shock all this week. Now, here's where the rubber meets the road. If you're Kalen DeBoer, you got to show us this week what you're getting paid to do.
Yeah, I think this message is before we played last weekend.
Completely different than they did against Florida State. Completely different. Ryan Williams, heard a stat on him. 20% of him lining up last year, he lined up in the slot 20% of the time. Against Florida State, he was in there 90% of the time. You know what that tells me? It tells me that they have no faith in Ty Simpson throwing the ball deep, which scares the life out of me. You know, I went to Holden's football game last night, and he's 11. And I'm pretty sure that they could have beaten Bama and tackled better than Bama did last week. But going back to it, Kane Womack, you know, he kind of owned up to it. He said, look, we knew what they were going to do, and we just didn't execute, plain and simple. So he owned it. I like him taking accountability, but now it's time to change that. I don't know if you can teach effort and the want to play like you were saying, but something's got to change. And something's got to change quick. You know, I know our best, I can't remember his name, our best rushing defender was out. We get Jam back this week, I think. You know, there's just a lot of things that were kind of going against us last week. I don't think we were ready for the moment. It just seems like the world's upside down. If LSU's winning their first game, we're losing our first game. Texas didn't look good. You know, shit's upside down. Pardon my French. So we'll see what's going to happen there. You know, Mike, I was talking to Mike earlier in the week, and he told me that Marlon Humphrey came out and said that is the last game Alabama will lose this year. You know, he's close to the program. You would assume he's closer than I am. So let's hope he knows something that we don't. But, you know, from the looks of it, at least from the sample size, which is one game, I don't know if they can turn it around. I hope they can. I really hope they can, because it's $71 million to buy out his contract. The board's contract is not. Now, granted, he's a track meet football coach. At least he was in Washington, and they don't play defense in the Pac-10. Never have. So we'll see. You know, it's wake up, time to put up or shut up. And
all right, the message did cut off. Obviously, Chris left that message before we played last week. So he's looking for Alabama to bounce back. Obviously, they did. He wants Ryan Williams to get more involved.
Yeah.
This came, we're running out of time, but this Kane Womack thing said that they knew exactly what they were going to do. This is about the Florida State game.
Right.
I don't know how to take that. It's like,
right.
So you're telling me nothing they did surprised you and you could not stop them?
Right.
It would have made more sense to me to be like, yeah, we knew what they were going to do, but they put a little twist on it we weren't used to.
Right.
Anyway, hopefully they've got it corrected. A couple more messages.
And Mama B or Karen, whatever you want to be called, Lurch was on the Adams family. Roll Tide. Love y'all. Get it together. Trey, Wendy.
Lurch was on the Adams
Hey, y'all.
family.
This is your mama. You know, I think we all feel better about the Tide this week. We beat Louisiana Monroe like we were supposed to. And hopefully it lit a fire under those coaches and the players.
Mm-hmm.
And so looking forward to Wisconsin. Roll Tide.
All right. I'm hitting buttons.
And Mama B or Karen,
I don't even know what I'm hitting. Wendy.
Just close it.
Well, I don't know how to close it.
Get the red button.
Hold on. Let me see something. Stop share. I got you. Stop share. Okay. I
Listen,
hit some other
Arnold.
button before. Wendy, we got about a minute left. What's up?
Well, so Arnold's right. And you and I have talked about this at nauseam. I'm telling you right now, they don't play defense in Washington, and I think that's been kind of the big adjustment that this guy's had to deal with. It's games are 48-42, right? Nobody played defense, so now we got to play defense. But let me say this: I think what we showed last week, if we can carry it over, we won't have a problem against Wisconsin. I think the real test is going to be Georgia. And listen, Humphreys, if you're listening, I hope you're right, man. I hope you know something that I do not know.
Yeah,
if I only lose one game, I'm good to go.
Yeah, that's great, Wendy. Listen, everybody out there, y'all have a great weekend. Looks like it's going to be a warm one, but let's have a great weekend. Watch some football. Love everybody. Wendy, I love you. We'll hook up later, all right?
All right, roll tide.
All right, roll tide. See y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.